Hey guys, this is Cam15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another episode review of my dress up darling. Man, I know last week's episode was loved and beloved, and everybody calls this, you know, potential, anime of the season, anime sleeper. And honestly, the more I look at this episode, I'm definitely gonna be convinced this could 100%ly be anime of the frickin' season. And I just really like this show. I enjoy this show, and it's very freaking funny. So yeah, I do hope this show gets an English dub as well, because I know my Dress Up Darling's also on Funimation. So maybe Funimation will probably pick it up and they'll dub it, which I think would be great to hear it in the dub, since I do like listening to English dubs. But episode 2, man. Episode 2 of my Dress Up Darling. What an eventful episode, and what an eventful episode for my boy Gojo. My dude had to go through just the stresses of holding himself in with having a cute, very attractive girl in his bedroom, and he had to do everything within his possible power to keep himself composed, and he just couldn't, because this man, every second he had to measure something of our girl Kitagawa, or Marine. He just broke down and he couldn't handle himself, and I friggin' enjoyed every bit. I think that's the funny part of this, of the fact that, Gojo's just being, this is truly Gojo's like first best friend, and his first best friend is a girl, and obviously he's aware of certain things and stuff like that, like the measurements. And that was hilarious, because she shows up and he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, well, I just looked up Gojo, and there was a store named Gojo Dolls, and hey, lo and behold, I found you. And he's like, this girl's persistent as shit. I don't know what I can do. And it was freaking hilarious as is. The episode starts off where we last left off with, Gojo essentially telling our girl Kitagawa that he would do making the cosplay outfits for her and everything, and it's all funny and everything. We find out that the character behind the girl she wants to cosplay is literally based off an Arrow game. Now, if you do not know what an Arrow game is, most of you people should know what an Arrow game is. But for people who don't know what an Arrow game is, well, you saw it at the end of the episode. Arrow game, or heck, even bit in this episode, an Arrow game is essentially a game that is centered around these characters, well, doing it, and stuff like that. And you have to complete like these objectives to get these end games, and you'll get scenes of where, I guess, you as the player gets to do those characters. Yeah, it was shocking to say the least. Like, I'm thinking this is from some anime, even though our girl Marine did say, yeah, they made an anime or something like that off it, but it's truly a game. And I played it and I enjoyed it and stuff like that. I'm actually shocked they actually showed the crazy stuff, but anyways, it was freaking hilarious to say the least, and I enjoyed it. So he's obviously, our boy Gojo's like, well, clearly the number one thing is we gotta make sure we have time to get your measurements down and stuff like that, and we'll be good. Now, our boy Gojo's thinking like, oh, we're gonna probably take her to like some store to get her measurements and everything, and no sweat, we'll be able to be good and get up the information and stuff like that. And like I said earlier, she shows up at his place, and this is how persistent she is. She shows up at his place just by looking it up on the internet and just thinks, oh, his name is Gojo. So Gojo's Dolls, let's go in. And lo and behold, he opens up the door. And she's there, and he's like, what are you doing here? I thought we weren't gonna meet up till Monday. She's like, well, can't wait. And I just loved how she just entered into his house just scot-free. Like, she gave him cheesecake, he takes it, and then she just walks in. He's like, wait, what are you doing? And then, that leads into the bedroom scene where it ends up with our boy Gojo getting the measurements, and my man Gojo can I just say, bless his heart how he did that, because I think some guys would find it very hard to resist having a cute, attractive girl in their room, and they essentially go down and strip down into their bathing suit, which was freaking hilarious as is, because the moment he sees that, well, booty shot, he's like, oh my goodness, what am I getting myself into? So that was freaking hilarious how he literally was trying to keep himself composed. Listen, I wouldn't be shocked. I think this can go for any guy. If you have a pretty cute girl that comes into your room and you're just kind of all alone because his gramps went out. Now, I thought the grandpa would walk in and be like, Gojo, what are you doing? And I thought that would happen. No, that happened at the end of the episode when he's essentially playing the arrow game, which was, that end of the episode was hilarious because he's like, I know he's of that age, but my goodness. Okay, he seems invested in this. Now, listen, in my grand scheme, if I was ever caught playing that, and even in real modern society, if you're ever caught playing a game like that, then I'm just gonna say you're probably getting a talking to from your parents. I'm just gonna say that, to be honest. So yeah, it's not that I don't play those games. I don't even play games like that, and stuff like that. But it's like, oh goodness, I would have gotten killed by my parents. But anyways, I found it hilarious of the fact that, you know, she's like, we need to get my my freaking measurements, and my boy Gojo's like, measurements? Whoa. I can't do that because he thought, oh, we're gonna go to the store and get measurements, but no, she wants him to do the measurements on her. And it's funny because he's like, you have to get down into your underwear, your undergarments. And she's like, oh, okay. And she starts stripping down, and my boy's like, whoa, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, it's okay, I'm only in my bathing suit. I think that would make things better than just me being in my bras and underwear, and stuff like that, which was freaking hilarious. And my man, he just looks at the body and he's like, he's literally internally screaming, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the pain this guy has to go through and everything he has to do. It's funny because every time he's trying to get the measurements down, he's just so flustered because, one, this is like the first person, his first, I guess you could say, actual friend, you know, in a room. But more importantly, it's a girl essentially in a bikini, you know, right then and there, and he's just obviously freaking like, listen, I don't blame a guy for freaking out. I would have been losing my crap too. I would have been very flustered. I would have been very like, what? And the thing I find it so funny is the fact that our girl Kitagawa, she's kind of taking this as if it's normal and everything. But you know, you see by the end of it, after he gets the last measurement down, that's when she realizes, she's like, oh shit, this guy's been measuring me and I've been in my bathing suit. Now I see why he's been so flustered around me, which I thought was very adorable, very cute, because she's like, do you think you can give me some alone time right now? Because she realized at the last thing, she's like, oh wait, this guy's been measuring me in my bathing suit, and no wonder why he's been acting so strange. He's literally been seeing my boobs and my butt, and which is freaking hilarious. I thought that was adorable. And I honestly lost it when I was dead laughing when he thinks he's all done and everything. No. I lost it. No, the second time I lost it was when he had to measure her bust size. And he was like, you gotta be joking right now. I can't do it. I can't do that. Are you serious? And it's funny because then he's getting ready, right up in the boobs. I'm like, oh my god, this guy. I feel so bad for him. How can you not resist? And everything. But our boy had control, even though he was flustered through the entire thing. But the thing that made me die of laughter in this episode was when she's like, oh yeah, you should probably measure my feet and stuff like that, so we can get the right measurements for shoes and everything. And when I lost it when this girl sat on his futon and she's just doing different types of poses, and he's like, I'll just go get my chair. I think that will be accurate, but she's like, no, it's okay, we can do it right here. And he's like, you know, I think I need to get this chair, like right now. And then she just stands up. She's like, Gojo, because he's zoning out. And he looks up and she's like, she puts her feet on his freaking like thighs just to get a measure put it in a position to be measured. And the way she's like, she gives this look, and the voice actor does a good job making the voice so serious. And she's like, do it or you're gonna get your ass kicked, essentially. And my guy is sweating bullets. He's like, oh shit, I can't. And then he ends up doing, I lost it there. I was dying to laughter. I had to replay that scene like 2 freaking times because my guy, the face my dude Gojo gave was like, I better do this or she's gonna kick my ass. So that was funny. There was other funny moments with this episode in terms of him taking measurements and everything. But I thought that was hilarious. And then, you know, like I said, with the Marine stuff, eventually realizing, what did I just make this guy do? And she starts obviously getting very flustered herself because she's like, this guy just literally took measurements and freely kind of somewhat touched my body throughout this whole process. Now I see why he's so flustered. And she gets flustered because she's like, oh man, what the hell did I just do? And everything. And I thought that was just adorable. So yeah, I'm definitely calling it. These two are like a match made in heaven. They're made for each other. And everything. And I like this too. I like this pairing. I think it's adorable. I think it's cute. I think it's very romantic and very sweet. That these two characters are essentially just bonding over just doing typical things that, hey, wouldn't be too hard. But my boy Gojo over here freaking out like a dude because he can't keep himself composed. Well, he did keep himself composed. It's just he got too flustered. And then our girl Marine's not really paying attention to the main thing and understanding what our boy's going through. And then only to realize at the end of this whole thing, oh crap, I made him do something that he probably just is probably like gonna come out and just breathe. And I found it hilarious how she gave him like, listen, you need this to study off of, then here, play both arrow games. So that was funny. But this episode was very entertaining, very funny, very enjoyable. Honestly, I might rewatch this episode again. It was that funny. I'm really loving this freaking series. This might be my favorite anime of the season, and stuff like that. But truly, I enjoyed this episode. It was very funny and got a huge amount of laughs. And prayers up to my boy Gojo. He overcame it. The futon stuff was funny because he's like, my futon's dirty. My futon's dirty. Please get on. I think I should go get this chair. So that was all funny and everything. But yeah, but if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of My Dress Up Darling. Again, do not post spoilers for whatever happens in the future of this series. I know there is a source material going off of it. I just don't want to be spoiled. I want to kind of go into this blind, so please don't leave any spoilers and stuff like that going forward. Just be respectful. Since I'm an anime only, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more anime content for the rest of this season of Winter of Anime 2022, or any of the other animes I review on the channel. I also review movies and stuff like that when it pertains to movies that I'm interested in, are my Marvel and my DC films reviews. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in this video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.